Hello. First video, I want to do a video log for this game that I'm actually creating. If anyone... Actually, no, first, stop disliking the game, you haven't seen anything yet. Well, I can start and say, the game that I originally want to make was fun, light in the background. Yeah, if you do watch these vlogs as well, you'll realise that I'm a bit catty. So, originally I'll start off from where the idea from this game is. It's Ashport Infection, or it might just be Ashport, you never know. Well, so 2010, I was in year 10 of high school, that little bit like zoom later. I was in year 10 of high school, and we were tasked with either reading a book and in art, drawing out some scenes from that book. I don't like reading. I can't read it in. I just don't have the patience. So I went through it, and he says, well, as an alternative, you can create your own story. So I wrote a story. I think it was originally just called The Infection. Ooh, you know, because that's unique as fuck. It was originally about, I think it was a guy, and like the government, like outlawed pretty much everything, and everything was fucked up. So zombies were, well, no, I don't know. It was the genetically engineered like a spider or something, and if it bit you or done something to you, then you became a zombie pretty much. I can't remember the details right now. I need to dig the books out. You became a zombie, and then there was these cyborgs by the government sent to eliminate them. But the cyborgs didn't give a shit who they were killing. They were just killing. And the main guy was part of some like rogue group. He's like a survivor of some rebellion against the government, and he's tasked with saving the world, which is an early draft, and I got some images drew for it, but that was good enough. And then year 11, it progressed, and I actually made the final piece, these images. So I'm gonna stick it on my YouTube and the Steam Greenlight thing whenever I remember or give it. And then when I came to college, we got tasked of creating a 2D game. So I made a top-down version of a 2D game, a shooting game that we will play. And I just realised I've lost that file. Fuck. Well, there's a top-down version that was created. It had story, it had music, sound effects, voice acting, and you can fail, you can win, there's win-lose states, there's a lot of conditional stuff. Quite proud of it. Then we used the stuff that was using Game Maker 8, I think, or 8.1, whatever. Then after that, we had to do a 3D game, so I used the same game idea and made it an FPS creator, if I remember correctly. And that was about the same thing. Use the same sound effects, the same music from it to make it ties in with the game, because it was essentially the same game, but from a first person perspective. And that was quite well. I got distinctions, got good grades, got to uni. Yeah, good for me. So I'm now in uni. And now we're tasked with a portfolio project where you make something to show to employers. I had a working level, well, a base, it was nothing in the room, just a set of stairs and something to jump on. I had a 3D model of my main character who's called Billy, or Billy Browning. Can't remember what he's called. Browning. I don't think it's called Browning anymore. What is it? Oh, it is called Browning. I'm looking at the Steam page right now. So it is actually Browning. I thought to change that, and his friend James. With Jimmy, because that was an obsession of my friends in college and school. So, and I forgot what I was talking about. Shit. The game progressed into Brainfart. Like, our portfolio project, we've got to create a game of whatever we want. It could be 2D, 3D, Unity, UDK. It can even just be a level or some art or some other. So I'm going to create this game. It was intended to be UDK because I know the characters are easy, but Unity, I know it's a script like fairly well. So it's going to be a 3D game on Unity, yes. And I want to try and do like a pen and ink style onto it. It's gonna be pen and ink, so everything we're seeing like black and white and like highlighted, like almost cell shaded, like Borderlands. But the defining parts, so the zombie characters in this, it's not the old story. It's a new story now. Well, I haven't actually finished the plot. I haven't finished it because I intend for the ending to show what the zombies were. But basically, there's a local military base not too far from in a distance, and in the base there were. Shut up. Well, putting it straight, there's two enemy types. One of them being the zombies. The zombies on the game, they're quite slow, but in high numbers, they're deadly. You know, on their own, you can just go, fuck you, walk around you. If there's a horde, say 10, 20, 30, that's when it's a problem. So with the pen and ink style, what I'm going to do, it's, obviously, they'll be a really dark, tattered, dead zombie, whatever. But if they have blood splatter zombies, or blood around the mouth, if you've seen The Walking Dead, then that kind of really cool makeup. So the bloods will have like an aura, like a glowing imagery coming off of it. So that hopefully should look quite good. And the other enemy is the cyborg things, which were actually taken out the game until today when I was in class, and I had to rewrite all. I'm in the process of writing the story again now. I've got it. The only thing I have of it is a few pages on some notebook I had years ago. So, cyborgs are back into the story, and the idea I came up with today, because I couldn't remember much about the cyborgs without reading my book, and obviously in class I can't just go and get my book. It says they're experiments from a military base, which is a couple miles out in the countryside. The town, Ashport itself, is quite a small rural town. And these cyborgs, because this is set like a few years in the future when AI is a bit stronger than it is now, because it's a bit shit. So they were like to protect the base. They just like patrolled, or you situated in certain points, like security cameras and all that kind of crap. But as the army base became overrun, a protocol came down. Like it was all locked down. The cyborgs are programmed to kill or destroy anything in sight to prevent any classified like intel or whatever they were working on in the base to leak. So these cyborgs weren't programmed very well. Let's say like Apple. Apple made them, so that's why they're shite. Well, Apple might be good to some people, I just don't like them. I'm not hip as comes. But, so they're out killing the zombies. But they don't quite know the difference between zombies and people. So the town of Ashport itself is kind of overrun and fucked up. So the aesthetic's going to be dark, painting, as I've said, black and white. Defining imagery, so the zombies of blood will have like a glowing red aura on them. And the cyborgs will have like, say like a dark blue, maybe like a darker green, like a circuit board, like lightning coming off of them. Like between like the shoulder blades and such. So, summarising the game itself, it's going to be Unity 3D. It's going to have sound effects, ambient music, voice acting, like, 2 like classes of enemies. It's going to have subclasses, obviously. Then, a story in the plan's being done, but I'm going to improve it to be, as my tutor says, industry standard, because he's a cock. And the map, at first, will not be too big. Well, I'm not going to make an entire like full game in one class when I've got 12 weeks to do it. I'm just going to do A level. So it's going to be, say, the small section of the town, maybe like a shopping district, like the town centre. The reason that I decided to do a log is because I have to start everything again. I've been working on this. I've got books and stuff over there, art books, concept art that I made years ago. I've got to do everything again because my computer, I was running the Windows 10 preview and decided to die. The computer wiped completely. The operating system was removed. I reinstalled Windows 8 and lost absolutely everything that I had. Which is good that I've just started new classes, so the work from uni doesn't have to be in for those. But the work that I saved for these classes is gone, because I got a head start and actually made some progress on it. So I've been doing like a written blog, but it's only me reading it, obviously, because I don't give a shit about a game like this, because it's generic as fuck. But I've only started today, and I've literally only made 281 words, which is not the good. I just can't believe this shit's happened to me. Right, on Steam. I have a little summary for the game. It says, the story of William Browning and James Silver is quite a long and confusing one, involving breaking hearts and breaking heads. How cliche. But as the hard days of Billy and Jimmy maintaining Ashport are the focus of the story, to understand the pair, I'll have to tell you what they fought at the hardest day of their lives. Their school days. I'm gonna leave that for now, because Kieran's coming in.